somewhere, you little fucking crackhead. Sorry, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how are you?
I'm very frustrated at the moment.
Yeah. If everyone was tuning in, as soon as I hit record, you heard Ryan's frustration.
Yeah, fucking Minecraft.
As I heard your
Grown-ass
wife
man.
laughing in the background.
Yeah, then I realized I was like, oh man, he's going live. Yeah, it's because I called the guy a little crackhead. Because
You're
found the
like
guy
Dusty
who killed.
Rhodes, that's why we do it live, baby.
I just
Oh man, that was funny. For those that don't know what's going on, Ryan, before we went live, was playing Minecraft, and he set his controller down briefly and went to go pick it back up, and he died and basically lost everything that he had on him and is trying to remember where everything's at.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'll usually bury myself in a wall somewhere, and it's like I had done that, but I had my awesome pickaxe on me, so I cut right through the fucking thing with 2 swings. So when the controller was just down, the trigger button was going. So I inadvertently did it to myself. So I'm very beside myself right now.
Always some type of adventure.
Oh, bro, this adventure I don't want.
All right, well, I actually have some, I guess you would call it breaking news because I just read this and wasn't aware of it until probably right before I called you. Willie Mack, who is in
Yes.
Lucha Underground, correct?
Yes. I just read this as well.
Yeah, because I know he had put out tweets about, I guess them like trying to screw with him with his contract, Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's signed on with Impact Wrestling now.
Yeah, he signed an extension.
Yeah, multi-year contract.
Oh, good shit. They just locked up somebody else. I know they got Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin showed up the other day.
Yes.
You're welcome. I know Michael Elgin showed up the other day to go after the new Impact World Champion, Brian Cage.
Congrats to him.
Yep.
But they had some scary injuries on that show, man.
Yeah. Did whatchamacallit really get hurt? I mean, like,
Cage?
Did Phoenix really get injured?
Oh,
Phoenix.
he I think he just got
That
like
awful spill.
he got his bell rung, I think.
Okay.
He's lucky he didn't break his neck, man.
No, you did right.
For those
That was
didn't,
scary.
yeah, for those that didn't see Impact's pay-per-view, Ray Phoenix, who is one half of the Lucha Bros, went and did a Spanish fly. Wasn't it off of a ladder?
Yeah, I believe so.
It was
Outside the ring.
off of a ladder onto a table that was out on the rampway, and when he did, it looked like he didn't tuck his head enough, and he just like basically bashed the top of his head onto the walkway. It,
Yeah, he just didn't do like instead of doing the full 180, he went about 90 degrees and his body stopped moving. So he
yeah,
kind of
it looked
spiked right on his face.
really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that really frightened me. That looked really bad for him.
And then Brian Cage got hurt in the main event doing the same move.
Was it the same move? Like I know he got hurt for legit. Like I know he was tweeting from the hospital.
Yeah, it was that Spanish fly that he took outside on the outside.
Huh.
Said it like jacked up his back.
Well, that sucks.
But I think that was something that had been bothering him, like, and just that was kind of like the final straw, so to speak.
Well, that's highly unfortunate.
Especially after you win the world title.
Yeah, I hope it's nothing long term for him.
I don't think so, but him and Elgin could be a very interesting match.
Yeah, Elgin's a big boy. He's a big, strong boy.
He really
So
is.
yeah, that would definitely be an interesting combination.
Here's some other news that just came out within the last hour or so. For Double or Nothing, apparently, Oriental Wrestling Entertainment announced the other two guys that are going to wrestle with SEMA in the 6-man.
Okay.
It's going to be him, L. Lindemann, and T-Hawk.
Okay.
Against SoCal Uncensored. Matches right now for Double or Nothing.
That's gonna be an interesting show. It really is. And then possibly with the addition.
First, when I woke up that morning, and I'm not kidding, this is legit, I had like 5 messages from different people of that video.
Yeah, I happen to be up, and I just refreshed Facebook, and I seen it on a couple pages shortly after midnight, and then like everybody who's ever had a fucking wrestling page was posting it. It's like, okay, I fucking get it, big deal. I don't know. I guess I'm not as excited as everybody else.
I don't know. Maybe it's because he's been there for so long, and in his video, I mean, you know, you could take it however you want. It kind of felt like a symbolism of him breaking out.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw it as Johnny Moxley's back.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool just because he used to wrestle a lot on the East Coast and toward, you know, Midwest area.
I guess there's just very few people that, you know, it's like how we're always talking about what? It's waterproof. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
We talk about how, like, we're old school in certain ways, and wow, see, I'm stalling because I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was gonna say. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
Moxley.
I'm just old school. I can't see returning to the indies as a really big thing. It's just like I can see return like guys who return to WWE from Impact. I can see as a big thing. I guess I don't see like leaving the biggest company in the world to go back to wrestling in front of like 300 people like anything really to cheer about. I mean, even if it makes him happy, it's just like you're taking such a huge step down like on scale. And again, if that makes him happy, that's all for him. But for me, I can't get hyped for somebody going back to the indies.
I
Maybe
understand
back
what
to
you're.
Japan.
I understand.
But
I did read since we last talked about this. He already had, and PW Insider is reporting this, that he already has bookings for June, apparently, and they're going to be announced in the next, week or so.
I mean, yeah, and he's gonna be able to command a couple $1,000 a match.
At least.
At least, yeah.
I know.
Oh,
Game Changer has been teasing that he's gonna be back with them on their social media for the last few days, so that'll be interesting.
I'm sure he's gonna end up in Wrestle Pro. Not Wrestle Pro. Yeah, Wrestle Pro. I'm sure he's gonna end up there at some point.
I mean, I hate to say it like this, and I told someone this a while back before, like, everyone didn't think he was leaving. I was like, if he leaves, I was like, you're gonna see like all the top, quote unquote, top independent companies whore him around.
Well, yeah, as much as he's allowing himself to be hoard.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Like, everybody's going, oh my god, I want you. You gotta come.
I also don't think he's the kind of guy that, even if like piece of shit wrestling association of,
West
Montana
Bumblefuck.
decides that they're gonna have a show in front of like 16 people, but they're gonna meet his demand, like his price. I don't know if he'd go fly there to go wrestle in front of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
65 people.
I agree with that.
Like just because people have a price, I also think that they also have a bit of dignity. Like, look, there are some places like I understand why CM Punk threw on a mask a couple weeks ago, and why people shouldn't think that it means he has any desire to come back with wrestling. That building's being torn down. That building's where he had his first match. That's the last wrestling show I believe that's being held in that building.
Yeah, so
So for
it was more of a sentimental thing.
that was for him. That wasn't for fans. Like that was for him exactly. And Ace Steel was one of the people in the ring, and Ace Steel was his trainer.
Yeah,
Like
so
like the two,
yeah.
everything was symbolic. Like it was the main event with Ace Steel in it in the building he started wrestling, and that building was coming down. So I mean, it's like you could hate for like the whole business of it. That's not business work. That's for you.
Definitely. I'm very curious to see what Moxley will do. Like, I just want to see where he's going to end up with if he's got all these bookings already.
I mean, probably the big. I mean, like he may not be announcing them because some of them may not be guaranteed yet.
That's what I think. Or he wants to surprise people.
Well, I mean, unless he's just going to show up at the show itself, unless there's no other real way to surprise them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at some point, you're going to make the announcement. So it's like, what would he be like? If he signed already, how would waiting a week or two increase the surprise? You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think he's probably going to show up at the show I will be at in Atlantic City. I think it's June 1st because they've been really like hinting that he's going to be there. Another guy that's going to be there, which is cool, I've never seen him live, is going to be Kenta.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, just because I thought that'd be cool to see him. How do I want to? I guess you would say non-confined in a WWE kind of deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think WWE had a lot to do with him though. I think it was his injuries that kind of,
No,
you
I
know.
agree with that. It was because they wanted him originally to be like the Nakamura of NXT, but then he got injured.
Yeah, because they were all cool with him having his normal Japanese moveset. They were cool with him. Like, they even let him use the GTS after Punk left. So, I mean, they were cool with Kenta being Kenta. It's just that he couldn't get any momentum. He was always getting hurt.
Definitely.
And the guy doesn't have charisma. Like, the guy's entire charisma comes off of his work. And if you can't work, it doesn't matter how long you're there. You're still like fucking Aaliyah. Bro, she's still employed. Her and fucking Vanessa Bourne are like a tag team now, and I'm like, yo, I remember you from the from one of like the oh, what the hell was it? Breaking Grounds.
Bro,
Like,
yeah, when they had the NXT like behind the scenes show.
yeah, when they're talking about Tyler Breeze wrestling as what the fuck was his name? Oh, he had the most generic name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, but it was what his first name was, and then it was like it even covered the night he became Tyler Breeze. Dalton, something Dalton.
Yeah.
Mike Dalton. Fucking Mike Dalton. How generic of a wrestling name is that? What's your wrestling name? Mike Dalton. Yeah, you're never winning the title.
No, Lance. From what I'm hearing, John Moxley doesn't have a 90-day no compete clause because he finished out his contract. He wasn't like let
Yeah.
go or asked to be let go. He basically his contract ran out. Or at least that's what I understand. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because if you remember, that's how the Dudleys were able to show up on Impact a couple years ago, the day after their contract ended, was because they rode their contracts out to the end. You're done. Once your contract is over, you're done. When you're getting fired, you still have time that you signed a contract to. And keep in mind that you get paid for those 90 days to sit at home. I didn't. Like, that 90 days isn't unpaid, so it's not like people sitting home broke. You're getting 90 days paid.
You to basically.
So they're saying, we're paying you for the next 90 days. You can't work anywhere else. So you've made your salary already.
Yep.
And it's because you would have been under contract already for longer. Now, I don't know if, like, you have a month to go, if they can throw a 90-day no-compete on there.
I don't know, but that reminds me of something I wanted to talk about with the Revival.
Okay.
I believe it's Dawson they're doing it to. Because apparently they were just offered big-time contracts to re-sign.
Yeah. Half a million dollars a year.
Yes, and they turned them down and still want to, not be there. And WWE added, I'm pretty sure it was Dawson, added 2 more months to his deal because of his injury.
From 2016 when he broke his jaw.
Yes.
Yeah, it's reached a new kind of petty, like a real kind of like unprofessional petty. So now they're not going to hit the market together.
Yeah, they're going to be like a few months off of each other.
Yep.
I mean,
now apparently the reason why Dustin got his release is like, you remember a couple weeks ago he went on a fucking tirade about Marks and talking about you don't know shit, and when they first said that Dustin was being released from his contract or had been released, he went on fucking social media and was like, this is why I hate so-called smart marks and dirt cheats. You talk shit, you don't know what you're talking about. Apparently, because he fought those rumors so hard is why they granted it to him.
Interesting.
Apparently, Vince is the one who wanted to keep him, and Triple H is like the one who was like, come on, we're not using him for nothing.
Basically, what he's doing to Luke Harper, we don't have anything for you. We're going to pay you to sit at home.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It
Because when you
really
think he's
is.
older than we are, or about our age, he doesn't have a lot of years left.
No. That also reminds me of some news I wanted to talk about. Have you seen the Leo Rush stuff?
Yes. It seems like every day there was more stuff coming out. So, how do you want to begin it? Because
Uh,
I can tell you the best story that I know.
good.
Apparently, there's a lot of heat on him backstage. What initially came out first was is that people don't like the fact that his wife is always back there, like always around. She's always around for rehearsals, and apparently Finn came up and was like, Vince probably don't like this, too much, and apparently he kind of told off Finn, like basically like don't worry about me. Um, and was kind of not receptive to it, so that didn't rub the boys too well. Now, also stories came out saying that he was trying to get a TV show for him and his wife, which rubbed people the wrong way. Now, he came out and said somebody backstage from the days of Ring of Honor don't like him, and they're the ones falsely leaking this. But then there were also allegations that when they were on the European tour, he wouldn't do like the bitch boy duties that the low man on the totem pole usually has to do, like carry bags, get water. Like typically, like the way that you curry favor with people is you do all these mundane on things, these mundane things on these European tours. And he not only didn't do it, went and complained to management about it. And he said it's because he didn't think that the image of him as a young black man going around doing this was a good look for him.
Phew.
Yeah, and apparently they offered him $300,000, and he said, "No, I think I'm worth 600." Yeah, so that's the most recent thing, and Mark Henry came out in fierce opposition to what he said about not doing that because he's a black guy. He said it has nothing to do with race. He said I walked around carrying his The Rock's bags and Stone Cold's bags and Undertaker's bags and got them water, got them drinks. Did their laundry. He's like, it has to do with respect. It has nothing to do with your skin. So he needs to get over that. That's coming from Mark Henry.
I'm pretty sure I either know or have an idea who Leo Rush is talking about. The person from Ring of Honor.
It could be a producer. I don't think it's a talent.
I'm I'm pretty sure it's Steve Carino.
Is Steve Corino still with WWE?
Yeah, he's like an agent or a producer or something now.
Oh, for some reason I thought, okay.
Because that's really the only person other than like Nigel McGuinness that I know could bash him backstage that was in Ring of Honor.
And I don't think Nigel was there with Leo Rush.
Yeah. Now, apparently, the latest, since you brought all that up, they offered Rush, I guess, a different contract, and he said he turned it down again and just said, "Release me." He asked to be released.
What's the matter, babe?
I mean, the kid has tremendous talent. I mean, we both, seen what he can do, but he has to grow up, in my opinion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, he's very immature.
Because he's, shit, I think 23?
Yeah, 24-year-old piece of gold, I think, is what his gimmick
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. So he's not very, he's young, so he's going to learn the hard way. The thing I read before we went live was he wants to be released so that he can show them what they're going to miss or will be missing if he goes back on the independent scene, thinking they will want him back?
See, I'm reluctant to like. I'm on the fence with this because this is a business where if you want to succeed, you need that kind of mentality. There's one spot, there's one top guy, and if you don't believe you're that top guy, no one else is going to. Um, I'm there's believing in yourself. Like I don't think he's delusional. I think he can out wrestle most guys. I don't think he's given a fair chance as a worker since he's come up. Even in NXT, he was not used particularly well. So I can understand someone who really has special abilities. I mean, dude's faster than anything I've ever seen in my life, including Ospreay.
What I was gonna say.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going
That'd
to
be
say
great.
to me, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah, but I don't know. Don't you need to be a little arrogant though, in that kind of business?
Well, yeah,
You kind of have to be full of yourself. I mean, it's like when certain people are like, you don't think The Rock is arrogant? You don't think Paul Levesque is fucking arrogant? You don't think Vince McMahon is arrogant?
I guess.
Like you have to have that kind of arrogance to want more. I mean, there is only one spot. You need to want it more than anybody else, and you need to feel you deserve that more than anybody else. That to me is arrogance. But it's like when the wrong people do it. I mean, if he's talking about work rate, he may have a point. He probably can out wrestle most of that roster.
Definitely. What I was going to say is, also, I'm fine with your point about the arrogance thing, but maybe there's like a time and a place for it, if that makes sense.
Yes, but and again, I'm just playing. I'm just
No, I
playing
know.
devil's advocate. Who's to say when it's the right time and place? Because what may be right for one person may be wrong for another. Or what may be wrong in general may end up being right if you have the arrogance to actually say something at that point.
Yeah.
Or, again, I'm not an arrogant person. I don't know how arrogance works. But I also probably would do awful in that business.
But here's the thought. Let's say if he was just for an example, Lars Sullivan's size and was acting like that, I think it would be a different story.
So do I. And the sad thing is that he can put on a more enjoyable match for people like me and you than Lars Sullivan can.
Yeah.
Or ever will. And that's just a fact.
Definitely.
I mean, it's
Good.
no, and again, I'm by no means telling you you're wrong. I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I feel bad that he's in this situation. I think he got himself into a lot of that shit when by originally getting on a lot of people's radar with the Emma thing. So people are like, oh, he's talking shit again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just don't think he did himself any favors, and I think not anything he does, he's under more of a microscope.
Well, what's crazy, and I mean, I don't really believe Ryback half of the time, but I read this. Because he was asked about this. Apparently, when you sign a contract with WWE now, they ask for all your social media passwords.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually said that a while ago too. Like I do remember hearing that in the past. So that's not like Ryback just talking shit now. Like that is something that I have heard him say in the past.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, it really is. And it's supposed to be independent contractors.
Two. Well, we go from one situation to somebody else's situation that I was just reading about with Sasha Banks.
I haven't heard any update on her in a while.
I just read they originally had her planned for her to be in the Money in the Bank match. Excuse me, and because of their apparent stalemate, she was taken off of the Money in the Bank card, and Dana Brooke took her spot.
I don't know how much I believe Dana Brooke is actually going to make it to that match.
I kind of said that too, but I can believe that they took Sasha out.
You know, and they fucking milked that too. Because they didn't announce it on Raw. And then on SmackDown, it was one of the last things they announced.
It's like, oh, by the way.
They knew people were waiting to hear, like, who the last woman was going to be. Was it going to be Sasha?
Oh, definitely.
Fucking double E.
And now, it's like they've moved all the tag teams to Raw, and there's like none on SmackDown.
Yeah, it is kind of bad.
Well, because they just moved the Good Brothers over.
Yeah. Yeah, they really... Who is on SmackDown? New Day.
It's it's the
Rusev
Hardys, but
fucking-
now they are split up because Jeff got hurt and has to get surgery, so they relinquished the titles.
He actually had the surgery today.
Yes. The only other tag team I can think of off the top of my head, the B Team and Rusev and Nakamura.
And the New Day.
Yes, and the New Day. I'm sorry.
I'm sure the Ascension is still somehow there, right?
Yeah, and aren't the Colognes still there?
Yeah, I think they're still on SmackDown.
But I just noticed that. I was like, wow, because that was like what SmackDown, before they changed everything, was kind of known for. They had really good tag matches.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing. Because they're supposed to be setting this up for the switch to Fox.
Speaking of that, have you seen who was announced for the show in Saudi Arabia in June?
Yes. Goldberg.
Yes, it's going to be Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and Undertaker were the three I heard that are going to definitely go.
Yeah, I think AJ was on that list as well. I don't know if Daniel Bryan was. Apparently, he's cleared again, so he's.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up next.
Yeah, he's due back imminently.
Well, that's good news. I feared that he got a concussion.
Apparently, they ruled that out fairly early. All they knew is that it had nothing to do with the head and the neck.
Lance is saying, excuse me, that apparently Goldberg is going to get paid $2 million to do that show.
That's fucking crazy.
Hey, if they asked me to go to Saudi Arabia for $2 million, that'd be hard to turn down.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I wonder who they would put him in the ring with.
Lesnar.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Lesnar, Undertaker, and Goldberg.
Yeah. There you go. Speaking of Lesnar, this week he supposedly retired from UFC.
Again.
I
Well,
wonder if he tested dirty.
well, I mean, like, even though he got into the ring with Cormier, fuck, August, July, it was like that was a while ago. I don't remember when he beat Stipe. Um, he's made no attempt to talk to Dana since,
Yeah.
and he's been, I believe, cleared since October,
Huh.
like where his suspension has been over. So it's just he hasn't been going forward with it. They haven't been talking about nothing. I think he tried to use that just to leverage more money because didn't he just sign a little bit of an extension with WWE?
Yes. And now reports are coming out that he told Vince he's done after WrestleMania 2020.
I mean, what should be understandable? I mean, he's had a longer run since he's come back from
Oh,
football
God,
than
yeah.
beforehand.
That he basically wants that to be his retirement match.
Him and Lars Sullivan.
Where's the bro? He could finally get his wish.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, he's been talking about retiring Brock Lesnar forever.
I don't think they could hotshot Riddle to that extent in a year, though, unfortunately.
No, I agree with you.
But that would be so cool. If not, him versus fucking Lars Sullivan. Because remember, he went out of his way to go train with Lars Sullivan.
That tells you all you need to know.
Oh, hold on. Fire alarm's going on. You got it?
Lance said that Brock needs one last payday to build his extra wall on his castle in Manitoba.
Yeah. I was joking that Lesnar watched Game of Thrones just simply to find out how to build the wall around his house. Turning his house into fucking Winterfell.
That's hilarious. Dude, we got to talk about the other thing I almost forgot was the other promo that Bray Wyatt cut this week. Or vignette or whatever you want to call it.
I watched it once. It wasn't anything that really made me jump, like, to go back and watch it again. What stuck out to you? Because I really didn't pay a lot of attention.
That he acted like he wasn't painting that picture.
Yeah,
like it was a dry paintbrush.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch it because I had gotten him to go do something. When I came back, it was the very end. I saw like the outro with the music. I was like, "Fuck, I missed it."
The one thing that really kind of stood out was at the end where when he goes. I'm trying to remember how he says it. You know, I'll light the way, but all you have to do is let me in.
He said it different.
Yes, like his mannerisms changed.
Sorry. Yeah, that and there was a bunny this time.
Ramblin' Rabbit.
Ramblin' Rabbit. There you go. See, I like this, but I have a feeling that unless they get him in a ring and start to make this mean something, like, this can't be his gimmick. This has to be the means to the gimmick. His gimmick can't be fucking puppets.
No, but what I noticed, the difference from last week, and this one is you can slowly start to see him devolving more. Like, it's getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, he didn't seem as happy this time, I guess. Like, they were more nuanced.
Yeah.
Not happy, like, but I want to give it a couple weeks, but because this could just be poor writing.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is all done right because I'd like to see something from Bray succeed because last week showed me he's a talented guy.
And he's in fantastic shape.
I want to see him move around that ring. Because remember, when he was Husky Harris, he was the Ferrari tank with the Sherman engine.
Yeah. Who could forget that?
No, sorry, the Sherman tank with the Ferrari engine. There you go. I said that shit backwards.
But I knew what you meant. Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah, I mean, but it just showed that even at that size, he could go, and he could hit hard and he could go fast. And now that because that was just fat, like they had
Yeah.
him looking like Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, now that he got himself in pretty damn good shape, you want to see how he can maneuver.
I still want to see if he's gonna wrestle on that fucking card again. But
Apparently, they
nah,
have big plans.
apparently or hopefully.
Apparently.
Oh, you heard something?
I've been reading different things that apparently Vince really likes that gimmick.
I hope so. Yeah, I haven't heard any feedback yet on what the reception, like what WWE has thought of the reception yet, because they're known to change things very quickly, be very impulsive.
Yeah, well, I read
By
they
then,
have like a lot of people working with him on that.
hmm Yeah,
I
heard the
think
same thing.
Undertaker might have been one of them from what I read.
Yeah, that he had some input on some of it. It was probably a lot of people had a hand in that first vignette. And I'm sure all of them were thought out beforehand.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I don't think they were playing these by ear. But eventually, the same people who were sitting down in that room to come up with the first few vignettes aren't going to be the same people coming up with the vignettes.
Yeah, at some point you're gonna have to wing it.
Well, at some point, you're gonna, it's gonna not be micromanaged by Vince, or I don't even know how to put it. Vince just fucks
No, I know
everything
what you
up.
mean. Where it's not like every single dot is crossed. However many weeks in advance. Perfectly planned. Sometimes you're gonna have to just figure it out.
Yeah, and they have to have a vision and an end goal for something like this.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, sorry, I had to pick how spicy I wanted my food, so I picked spicy.
No, you're good, dude.
Spicy. Gotta like the spicy. I like spicy.
Here's some news. I don't know if you saw this. Tyler Breeze actually got moved down to NXT.
That's not bad. Now that adds some Did you see those? Now there's already been changes, so I'm pretty sure most of them are fake. But did you see the supposed leaked images of the Money in the Bank card
Yeah.
where it showed an NXT Money in the Bank match?
Yes.
Okay, Tyler Breeze was in that picture.
Interesting.
So I mean, it's like I'm not saying that it makes it real, but it's something, it's just like, oh, Tyler Breeze was in there, and it depends on when he got moved there, how long ago people knew about this, you know what I mean?
Totally.
But he's definitely in that supposed fake thing.
Interesting.
No, I wish there was NXT Money in the Bank. They talk about Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Dijakovic, Jackson Riker, who I was kind of like, eh.
Oh,
Uh,
Gunner.
yeah.
Yeah, him in that group does nothing for me.
Tyler Breeze, and I think that was it. Maybe Humberto
I thought Pete
Carrillo,
Dunne was
maybe.
in the one I
Oh,
saw.
yes. Pete Dunne was the other one. Pete Dunne was the other one. Now, that would blow any, like, you couldn't have, I mean, like, because when I saw that, I said, man, there's no way that match would ever be on a main roster match. I mean, a main roster card. There's no
Yeah.
way, because there's nothing in the world would compare to that. And they would fuck up, and they would somehow put that on, like, the opener. Like, I
Keith
could
Lee,
see Vince doing that. Like, fucking pre-show.
yeah, and Keith Lee's a big boy. I've seen him break a ring or two before he got signed.
Yeah, Keith Lee is definitely a big boy. And then Dijakovic.
He's a huge man.
Sorry, and then him and Keith Lee already had that fucking amazing match at PWG where they're doing all fucking little man moves, hurricane runners, backflips and shit. What the fuck? The Fosbury flop by the Dijak.
Yeah.
He'll always be Dijak. Fuck this Dijakovic nonsense.
I'm shocked they've just started doing stuff with him because he's been there a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, he was also fairly green. I mean, like, because he just, I don't know if that was solely a gimmick, but, he won, what the fuck was it? The Ring of Honor, not Rising Stars tournament. Like for the people in their first year. Whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because that's how he ended up getting into the House of Truth and all that other stuff. Because he was aligned with Jay Lethal for a while.
Yes.
But he's also very green, and he may have not known how to wrestle for his size. Plus, he's put on substantial amount of weight, like muscle.
Yeah, he got really jacked. I will say that.
Like, he filled out nicely. Like, if you look at Drew McIntyre now, when he was the chosen one, it's hard to believe that was the same person.
Definitely.
I'll
say this, dude, and I sent you the thing. WWE better like step their game up because Raw and SmackDown, the ratings this past week were like all-time lows.
Yeah, that doesn't really bode well.
Especially, when's the pay-per-view? Like 2 weeks?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's not good. You know, right before a go-home show.
Especially since they're trying to make that one of their like big events, like not as big as like Royal Rumble, but Money in the Bank should be a big concept. Like that really like the problem is they have Money in the Bank, they have Hell in a Cell, they have Elimination Chamber, they have all of these fucking gimmick pay-per-views that TLC. But you have tables, ladders, and chair matches for no reason other than to like, oh, let's put them in a fucking ladder match.
Oh, it's TLC, so you gotta have a TLC match.
Which, I mean, like, from cool, we're gonna get to go see a TLC match. Ladder match is always gonna be cool. It don't matter who's in it. A ladder match will always be fucking cool. But, when you get to sometimes two of them on a show, it's like, how much can people outdo each other. You know, even men and women. It's like,
Definitely.
I don't know. Like the first one can't be too good because then the second one can't live up to it, and then whoever's on the second one is all butthurt. The people in the first one was so good, so good.
Well, that's I looked at the ratings, and Raw dipped under 2 million in the third hour.
Oh, well.
I was just like, wow, that's crazy to think of. And then I don't know if you ever I listen to him sometimes, his podcast, Solomonster. He
No
said,
idea.
I guess I forget where he had saw it. It was something with like the TV ratings that all come out. Apparently, WWE has lost like 15. They're down 15% from this time last year.
Damn.
I was like, good God, that's a big drop.
Yeah, that really is.
Because it was television overall was like 7%, like cable TV, but they were like 15. I was like, good Lord. I mean, because we all know cable television's dying a slow death.
Yeah, but see, that's why I'm also hesitant to believe that because I don't believe all those. I don't believe it's only 7%.
I tend to agree in certain aspects. I wonder if it's that low because it includes people that DVR stuff.
No, even with that, it's just like because I don't know if like Sling and stuff. I don't know if Sling is counted in the Nielsen numbers.
I don't think so.
And if it's not, I think it's way more than 10% of the population has switched. So to say that it's only affected,
No, I think it's affected everybody. It's in that,
uh,
business.
well, but that's my point. I'm saying if they're saying that the overall market has gone down 7 points and WWE has gone down 15, I don't believe that the overall market's only going down 7%
Yeah, I got you.
because I believe it's a higher number than that they've lost to internet television.
Definitely. Well, like I mentioned to you before on this show, they lost from last year's Mania, the Raw after Mania. Last year to this year, they lost almost 1 million viewers.
But that's Nielsen viewers. In that time, a lot of people have become more comfortable with like PlayStation View or Sling TV. It's become way more popular. It's exploding. People are cutting the cord to cable, and then so like now it registers. Last year it didn't register that I watched Raw because I watched it on Sling. Now when I watch it through my cable box because now I have cable. But people who did the opposite, and it's more people are doing the opposite.
I was going to say, then there's probably no way to, say, oh, well, X amount, watched Raw on this or this. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because I don't think the Nielsen numbers reflect Sling. So if you had 1 million people last year watching it on cable, and say 50,000 of those people switched to Sling, and still all 1 million of those people watch, it's still only going to show 950,000 people
Yeah,
watch because
yeah,
there's
that's what I meant. There's
50,000.
there's no like hard data to tell you.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's why I take a lot of that with a grain of salt because you don't know in what realm they're talking. Like, okay, it may be down 15%, but how? Like, what's the general number compared to actual viewers? And
Yes.
I don't think that's it. I think this is a weird number to use. I think for years it was a good number to use because there was no alternative. But now you have internet television. So I think saying, well, where they were last year or 2 years ago, I don't think is a good measure anymore.
No, no, I got you. It'll be very interesting when they move to Fox to see what's going to happen.
Yes, yes. Um, I don't know. That's why it's like maybe Fox has some way to test, you know, maybe being a telecom company, they can detect how many people are watching it through other platforms. Like I don't know. But for
Well,
them to want, I think it was like 3 million people they want to watch SmackDown. What the fuck you can get 3 million people?
I
People
know
haven't
because
watched three.
they're nowhere near that now.
Yeah, I think they're like little bit more than half.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not really where you want to be. 6 months out. Less than
Not
6 months
even
out of your
six
big
months.
3 months out, 3 4 months out of your big switchover. Because I think it's October.
Yeah, it's the beginning of October.
So 5 months. Yeah.
And Fox already said if, they're not pulling the numbers, they're going to yank them off.
Yeah, they'll put them on like,
FS1.
uh, yeah. Blows my mind to think that they're going to be on like network television again, though.
What's it been, 20 years?
Since UPN and stuff like that
Yeah, because the original SmackDown,
was UPN.
yeah, like 98, 99, 2000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, huh.
I remember because I was a senior, going to be a senior in high school when they had the debut episode of SmackDown.
Pretty sure that's the one Droz broke his neck at.
Hmm.
Pretty sure it was the debut episode. I was.
Man, that's been a long ass time ago, man.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
crazy
but
to
that
think
was.
about it, you know?
Yeah, some of that stuff I go back and I watch and I realize I was like, wow, like that was. Because my basis my whole life has always been the time from when I was born to the end of high school, like 18 years. Like I could quantify that. Like that was something that I used as a
Yeah.
measure to think. Now to think of like Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon was more than my 0 to high school life ago. Because that shit happened in '99 when I was 17.
Yeah.
So it's been more than 18 years since then. So the same amount of time that I used to measure things, it's already been past that. To me, that blows my mind.
Well, that, and I laugh about that match now because it reminded me of death matches when they go through the fucking plexiglass.
See, but that wasn't violence for the fact of being
No,
violent.
no,
That,
I agree with you. There was a story behind it. I don't like violence for the sake of violence either.
yeah, but it's like, okay, there was blood in the Guerrero versus JBL match, but that was gore to me. There was no point. It's not real. There's no reason somebody needs to be bleeding that much
Oh no,
for
I
something
agree with
that's
you.
not real. So
But
it's like that's where my hang up is with it all. It's just like it's not even close to a real thing. So what's the point of naming your fucking body for literally nothing? And it's like that's where my hang up gets. Like you're maiming yourself. You're causing permanent damage to yourself
oh yeah,
for something that's not real. Like you're gonna lose, but for whatever reason, you're gonna get hit in the face with a fucking light tube and be sliced open. For what end?
I understand. But
I
no,
don't know.
dude.
That's just
What the hell else was there? Was something I was going to tell you. Um, yeah. Oh, that's what it was. When you go back and watch stuff, I go back and watch some of the Attitude Era stuff now, and I'm like, my God, this shit does not hold up.
in what manner? Quality of wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like there's no reason for people to be like, oh my god, I want the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era at some points was awful.
I tell a lot of people, and they get upset with me. I'll say the Attitude Era had a lot of blood and sexuality that covered up shitty working in the ring.
Um, No, you're completely right. Hold this
It
one
just
second. I
it
just
just
want to
doesn't
confirm
hold
the
up
site.
well, is all I mean.
No, it's I do go back and I watch some of it, and I'm like, oh, nostalgia. Then I go back and watch some of it, like I will,
I got you.
like
Before we
I
get,
don't.
I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, it wasn't anything important.
No, I don't think the Attitude Era was all it was cracked up to be.
No, it was just at that. It was just at the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, yeah, it's what people needed at that time. But I don't think going back to that would be successful. Like
No,
I don't think that inherently would. I think it has to be storylines. Whether it was like rated G storylines, it doesn't matter. If the storyline sucks, the storyline sucks.
especially in 2019, you could not get away with 3/4 of the shit they did.
Oh no. But okay.
Not at all. But
Oh no.
before we get out of here, what do you have planned for the weekend, dude?
Not much. Just chilling out. Trying to see what the weather's like and maybe go to a tag sale over here.
What's that?
Buy other people's shit. Wait, like it's like a garage sale
Oh,
kind
okay.
of stuff. But like a whole bunch of people got their shit outside, and 'cause these like rich white people, they have a whole website set up where you can see what houses are selling what kind of stuff, so you know where to go.
Interesting.
But if it's raining, we're not going. I don't want to walk in the rain.
No, I don't
How
blame
about
you.
you?
Uh, Probably just gonna relax and take it easy this weekend. This is one of the few weekends I'm not like out and about at a show.
Well, enjoy your calm weekend.
Cause I think, thanks. Cause I think after this weekend I'm at a show for like 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Living the life.
Yeah, I wish. But it's fun.
No, yeah, you only live once, man. As long as you're enjoying it.
Definitely. Now, I almost forgot. Before we head out for tonight, don't forget to check out our social media stuff: Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Check them out on Twitter at B Plus Radio. Check out their sponsors over at Audible. You can get a 30-day free trial with ebooks, podcasts, all kind of different stuff. audibletrial.com/B plus players. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Too Sweet Magazine. Find them on Twitter at 2TOO Sweet Mag. Oh, one quick thing, Rye. Have you seen the new Mortal Kombat?
I've seen, like, I know it exists, but I'm not. It's not something that I'm usually into, so I haven't looked into it.
Okay. Because from what I've seen, it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, they always look cool. Just I don't know.
I haven't played in so long, I would be like a button masher.
Yeah, that's probably where I'd fall on the list as well.
All right, just wanted to throw that out before we say goodbye. So don't forget, we're going to head out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give us a thumbs up, all that stuff. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night, everybody.